The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all.
Get ready, because this is the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox! Hit it! Good evening, Metal Faithful. It is I, your mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and this is the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox. Hit it. And joining me, they are back. We were supposed to do a show in September, but I don't know if you've heard of this or not, but Florida has hurricanes, sometimes two. So a show had to be sacrificed to the gods almighty, and that show was our Nightwish show. So sorry. But we're back. We're back here at the end of October, and I am joined by Juicy J himself, my brother from another mother. Ladies and gentlemen, the eternal second chair, Jesse Starcher. How do you do, sir?
Oh, Mark Radulich. I am glad to be back here on the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox. Can't wait to be talking about some fun stuff tonight.
Oh, yes, sir. I will talk about that in just a moment. Did you see I went crazy and made sure I had a Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox every month for the year of 2025?
I did not. Nice.
Yeah,
every month.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I'll get to you in a second, Missy. But yeah, it suddenly occurred to me that like there are certain staple monthly shows that I didn't make any room for because I was busy putting together every single triple feature I could think of. So I was like, well, I have to move some of these around a bit. Speaking of moving around a bit, there he is, Mr. Lonely Hearts Club Band himself, the Metal Coop, Robert Cooper. How do you do, sir?
I am happier than a pig in shit.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, went and took a girl to Terrifier 3 2 weeks ago. That was a great idea.
Oh,
and then she tells me she loves me on the first date. That's so weird.
I didn't know what we were going to talk about tonight in the intro segment, so I will come back to you. Because we were pretty lady here. Once again.
Oh no!
We have all of these verbose men just all sitting around pulling on each other's wieners, and there's some girl going, "Is anyone going to pay attention to me?" And the answer is no, not on the Radulich Broadcasting Network. This is all men all the time. But however, she insisted on being here anyway, and we're glad to have her, ladies and gentlemen. One of Dorian's many women, Mick Wanamaker. How do you do, madam?
Good. How are you guys?
Talk to the pretty girl.
I don't know what to do.
I did.
I'm not getting all shy.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So let's learn a little bit about you, Mick. Now, when Dorian started bringing every friend he has ever met onto the Radulich Broadcasting Network, it was mostly for the movies and TV stuff. But you had heard that I had a metal podcast, such as it was, and said, hey, I happen to be a metal fan too. So what kind of metal fan are you? He said menacingly like he was from the movie Civil War.
Don't ask me what the 3 songs are. No, I was born and raised a metalhead because both my parents are. Mostly my dad was into harder stuff, Slayer and whatnot, and then my mom was into lighter stuff, hair bands, that kind of thing. So I was raised and birthed from it.
Mm-hmm.
I was singing System of a Down since I was 2 years old.
He's bouncing as you were singing bounce. Pogo, pogo, pogo.
So with that in mind, I have heard many things, and I guess I can't even pinpoint a genre in metal that maybe I've taken interest in the most, because it was kind of like all kinds as I kept going. Because I found my own niche too, away from what my parents were listening to. I found more black metal bands that I was interested in and stuff like that.
Hang on. Robert, she's in Kansas, okay? And so unless you're gonna make that drive,
And?
she can't be the future ex Mrs. Cooper.
I get 2 days off a week.
Here, hang on, I'll help you.
It's all driving, son.
There you go. Talk to the pretty girl, Cooper. Cooper has many questions about your black metal fandom.
Yes, first off, how many of them have black people in it?
Oh my God.
That's the best type of black metal band.
Thank you, anal cunt. Don't call
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay, so you said you're into black metal. I know one of my of that genre, and probably immediately annoy people who are fans of this, but I'm a huge fan of Cradle of Filth. I love them. I've seen them 2 or 3 times. I actually just saw them about a year or so ago down in Fort Lauderdale. I've seen Demu Borgir once. Fucking phenomenal. I saw them in Brooklyn. Robert did an entire retrospective on Mayhem way back in the old timey times. What are some of the black?
Yes.
What are some of the black metal bands you like?
Well, Mayhem was definitely one of them, and then there was shit. It's in another language. I never usually have to look it up.
Jesse doesn't like black metal, right, Jesse?
Jesse understands that black metal has its place, and it's not in my ears. So
it's not in my home.
The other one I was searching for was Burzum.
Oh boy, good old Nazi boy himself. God, that Varg Vikernes is such a piece of shit. I do love his music though, but God, that guy's a douchebag.
All right. Now you're in your early 20s, if I remember correctly. Have you been to any concerts in your lifetime? Because I started going when I was 15. Jesse went to one last week for the first time in his 40 some odd years of life, and Cooper didn't go to anything until he was like 30, and then he went to all the concerts ever. I think I got that about right.
I went to a festival when I was 19.
I remember when you and I first started doing this, you were like 12, and you didn't go to any shows at all because your mom wouldn't let you out of the basement.
Well, yeah, I went to one festival when I was 19, and then
nothing for the next 10 years.
Pretty much, yeah. It was when, for example, when Napalm Death came to Winston-Salem, my mom's like, "Well, you need to take your friend Nick because I don't want you around all those metalheads. They're going to do a lot of drugs."
Who's Nick, Robert?
Oh, that's my friend that I'll one day get on this podcast.
There it is.
He's never getting on this pod.
He's
never going to get on the podcast at this point. I also bring up his testicles on every first date I've ever been on. So
we'll talk about that in the stupidity in a moment. All right, so back to you. First concerts, if ever.
So I was also not allowed to go to concerts when I was growing up, which is from the bands that we listened to is kind of understandable, I guess so. But
Okay.
So the first concert I ever went to, I was 17. My dad took me to a show that was Asking Alexandria, Bad Wolves, and Papa Roach.
Oh boy.
It was at an outdoor venue. It was really fun. And then after that, it was Shotgun Blast. I was going to concerts all the time.
Okay. What's
so I've been to a lot of.
Oh, good. You've been to a lot of shows. Okay. Because I talk to people who are like, I'm really into metal. You've been to any shows? No. I have nothing to discuss here. I don't know why I'm here. Okay. What was the last show you went to?
The last one was Judas Priest and Sabaton.
Oh, you went to that
nice.
One? I was thinking about traveling to Utah to go see that with Robert Winfrey.
It was really good.
Yeah, they're both great live.
My dad made a joke though that was like with the nature of both their bands and how they look. It's bald guy and the guys with hair.
Yeah, or as we like to say, it's the band that does things about nothing but tanks, and and the other band that made being gay and metal cool.
Yeah.
Right. Which favorite bands? Something like just like your all-time like your desert island disc bands.
I would say System of a Down is a really
Yeah.
big one for me. Slipknot
Okay.
is another big one. I mean, that's why we're doing that show.
More on that later.
Yeah, more on that later.
Oh.
Slipknot. My dad and I'm gonna bring him a lot.
Hang on.
throughout
We let another pretty girl onto the network, so she's making us do a Slipknot show. Just go with it. Keep going.
Oh, hot dog.
That's how things work around here. Keep going.
Hey,
I see.
But yeah, you'll hear. I'll bring up my dad a lot because he was the one who we try to go to shows as much as we can together.
Mm.
That's something that we've shared.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. So you pass. You can stay. You seemingly know what you're talking about. All right. Tonight we are talking about Motley Crue canceled. Canceled. What is canceled? Canceled is an EP by Motley Crue. It was released on October 4th, 2024 through Big Machine Records. It's the first release with guitarist John Five, who replaced Mick Mars because he has turned into a tree. And he retired from the band in October of 2020.
He practically has, the poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This is not our first dalliance with Motley Crue. We have this podcast has a long history with that band. But before I get into all of that, actually, let me for some propriety here. Since Mick was nice enough to be on the show and want to be a part of this, I'm gonna throw her the first video here. So Mick, I asked you to submit a video for us to play tonight before we get into our second intro. Tell us about this. Well, I set it up. Tell us about this song and video you wanted us to play.
So Sonny by I'm not even sure if I pronounced that correctly, but it's Rammstein, and it's another one of my favorite bands. I always loved this video because it felt so like I like the dreamlike sequence that they have and tie in Snow White, but it's like definitely not Snow White's story.
I saw when I saw Cradle of Filth, actually, there was another band that opened up for them, and I think they covered this. So here we go. This is song by Rammstein. This is Mick's pick for the evening.
2, 3, 4.
Are there going to be
Countdown.
naked people in this?
I don't know,
There very well could be. I know
we're already into Brady boxes.
I've seen a few Rammstein videos that
I've been working
problem
in a
showing the
coal mine.
nudity.
Shut up to get down.
Oh,
Working
this is
in
the
a coal
this is the
mine.
basement of the Sparks factory, Mark.
Yeah.
What do you think they're digging for here?
Gold.
Is it? Well, we're going to
Yeah.
find out.
It might just be a coal mine.
That very well could be.
I'm thinking
West
that's why their
Virginia.
faces are so black, because otherwise...
I think they're looking for Sir Mix-a-Lot.
He's there somewhere.
That's a pretty big ore they're going to be mining. So I think they'll find him soon. A woman.
What are you kidding about Snow White? Jesus Christ.
She is.
She's
okay,
not
now I
naked
have-
yet. This isn't.
I have questions.
It's funny trying to make like average sized men look like dwarves in this aspect because she just looks towering massive.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, are these
I've-
supposed to be dwarves because they look like real boys? Real boys getting.
I've been on the
apparently.
I've been on the internet long enough to know it's not that hard.
Yeah.
There. That's also what Steve said.
That's hello, Natalia.
Hello, Natalia.
Wow, this came out in 2001.
Mhm.
My
That was a
goodness.
good year. I remember it not that well. I was like 10.
Oh, it's fun to do this podcast with people of varying ages.
Boy, we have a large variation of ages here.
Yeah.
Oh boy, hello there, Snow White.
He was
All the
ironically
apples.
rubbing that apple. That apple was about to get juicy, like Jay.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
oh yeah, like he's gonna be able to see his like grandchildren's reflection in it. Oh, she does coke. Yeah, of course she does coke.
Once again, Rammstein has made an uncomfortably erotic music video.
Well, yeah,
Which feels
you
like
know
they're-
it was. I was gonna put on some Ackercock tonight, so it's a good thing I didn't. That would have made it even weirder.
I'm gonna ask that you keep your Ackercock off my podcast. I'd like to stay on this too.
I mean, It's a bunch of sharp-dressed Satanists, and they always have burlesque dancers. Like, they have money, support the arts.
I once saw ZZ Top perform Sharp Dressed Satanists at the Mid-Florida.
Dress Satanist.
Sharply dressed Satanist.
That's right.
Oh, goodness.
I
happened?
think
Why
every
did that-
girl is still crazy about them.
How'd she die? I mean, I know how you like Snow White.
Coke? Did she
Yeah, right.
OD'd?
The OD'd.
Drug overdose.
All the drawers.
Rammstein predicted the fentanyl crisis.
2001.
Forget the Simpsons did it. Rammstein beat us all.
I just hope they find what they're digging for. That's all.
I thought that guy was about to take a shovel to the back of the head, and the guy was going to yell at ECW, but in German.
Is that still ECW?
Was he about to ride that guitar? Like
I-
a bitch?
It kind of looked like it.
I mean, I would.
They barely
What-
knew her. They're very sad she's gone now.
I mean.
Well, I mean,
look,
They're
Oh,
probably doing
shit.
more behind the scenes.
that rock hard
Oh, God,
apple
it's-
pops her open.
Oh no, it's zombie Snow White. Somebody's about to get drilled.
Grrr.
oh, and the search continues. We'll never know.
Oh no!
All right, that
So,
was
what
fun.
does son mean in German?
Or French?
son?
I believe it's French.
Is it French?
I
Well,
mean, I thought all their shit was in German because they're German.
yeah,
so
maybe.
for the most part, yeah.
All right. Well, but while Jesse, who is our producer on this show, goes to either ChatGPT or Wikipedia or his encyclopedia. Oh my God,
Google
we're all racing to
Translate.
find the
I
answers.
got it. I got it.
All right.
The
tell
sun.
me.
It means the sun.
The son?
All right,
Okay.
What?
All
Okay, but it was German or French or Swahili?
It is.
Swahili. It was,
Can you tell
it was
me?
Wales.
Mr. and
Welsh.
They're from Wales. Wales, I tell you.
It's saying Old English, but I'm like, that's not. Oh, Germanic. So German.
Perfect. All right.
Duh.
So you took some broad to Terrifier 3. How did that go? Is she now the future ex Mrs. Robert Cooper?
Yeah, she stood me up twice for a second date, so that was cool. Only time she really texted me, she's like, "Hey, I'm coming by your work." Like, all right.
Because you have drugs.
And then No, I live 5 minutes from her house, or my work is 5 minutes from her house. So apparently, when her dad needs hardware, she comes to me.
She found the discount.
Are you dating the dad?
Yeah. No, I didn't even get to meet the dad. I was excited. I love dads. Hell, every dad I've met of a woman I've dated, we've become best friends.
Maybe that's where you should gear your dating.
Date dads.
Only dads?
Only dads. Yes.
There's an app for that. It's got to be, right?
Jesse's on Only Dads, but it's like mostly
I am the only dad
hardware
there.
So
Yeah,
wait,
but she told me she loves me multiple times, and I was like,
I have
this
questions.
How
is even
soon had that? How
Th-
soon
that
did
we
that
had-
come in the
we had talked for a week, and it's I could be a clingy ass bitch. It is really hard to make me go, woof. That's a little. I was a little
It is
quick in the
definitely hard to
U-Haul
get you-
there,
It
Karen.
is
Right.
definitely hard to get you to leave a swinger party. That's for certain.
I don't pick up on social cues. Just push me out the door. I don't
We-
get mad.
We will be here for 12 hours if I have to explain to you every story and every inside joke, but know that's what that was.
I gotcha.
Okay. So anyway, all right. So 2-3 months ago is when you and the one chick broke up, right? And you started to say she's not talking to you anymore at all.
Nah, we still talk almost daily, but
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of just sucks because we did dancing and stuff together, and I haven't been back there because it just makes me want to cry thinking about her. So, yeah. Well, I've been doing West Coast swing, which is a different type of dancing, a little more of a contemporary. So it has steps, but really you just kind of make it up as you go.
So when did you start talking to this other new chick, the one that you brought to Terrifier? That was your first date, was bringing her to Terrifier?
Yeah.
That's how you know they're cool, though.
I mean,
or you have no idea and you fucking ruined things because you scared the crap out of this poor girl.
Yeah, it's like,
well, I mean,
yeah.
I tend to I try to vet them for that sort of stuff. Like, hey, do you like horror movies? Yeah. Do you like gore? And like, yes or no. Like, if you don't like gore, I'm not taking you to Terrifier. But we went out for like once. This is like my third first date in the past 2 months. Ugh, I hate dating. It's the dirt fucking worst.
I get that.
Yeah, because no, one of my friends is like, all right, you're not sending any more hoes money. Stop that.
What do you mean by sending hoes money? What are you doing?
Yeah, I was going to say, don't
Sending
wait.
hoes money.
Well, I had one girl that was like, I'm short on my medication. So, like, I'd send her like $10. But then, like, yeah, I know. I'm an idiot.
Mick, please, this is why you're here now, Mick. School this motherfucker.
Yeah, if they're trying to use your ass for money, unless you're in a relationship for an extended amount of time. If they said, "Hey, I need money for medication," that's probably a red flag.
Nick or Jesse wouldn't even get his wife medication. Fuck that shit. You gotta tell him no. Boundaries, man.
Right.
Jesse tells Mindy go get your own medication. Right?
I'm learning those as I become broker, because then I'm like,
something's wrong here. What is going on?
I was like, yeah, sorry, I don't have any money, so whoops, can't even get my own meds. Yeah. That's why that one girl was like, it's my birthday, send me $10, and I did, and then she doesn't talk to me all that much besides that.
Such a low bar, though. If you're gonna do something like that, might as well be like, "Hey, it's my birthday. Can you send me 50?"
Right.
I mean, yeah, but I didn't have 50 to send her. Like, I wasn't even going for that. But yeah, modern dating can kiss my black ass.
That's fair. Speaking of kissing black ass, Jesse, how are things over in your neck of the woods? What's new with you?
Everything is going fine. Finally getting over it's been. What would we talk last where I was like completely inundated? We had a
session podcast a week ago.
Okay, and I'm still like suffering from the sickness that I came down with.
Are you still suffering from the 3-second variance we argued over for an hour?
Oh my gosh. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. But yes, there's nothing exciting happening around this.
You're down a kid now. You're like
I
one-third an empty nester. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, it's a lot rougher on the wife than it is me. That's for sure. Really rough on her.
I know how much Mindy likes it when we tell stories about her on the podcast. So please go ahead.
Well, I mean, a lot of this is her first baby. It's gone off to college, and with her being gone, it was her best friend. I mean, it's her best friend, and it really eats at her. Like today, we're sitting here. Kira called in, talked to Mindy for probably about 5-10 minutes. They talk every day. It's so much different from back when I was going, obviously, because you have FaceTime and everything now to where you can actually see the person you're talking to and talk to them, and you can be connected at all hours of every day. And it's still not enough. And that's kind of sad, but yeah, I mean, she's making do. She's trying to find things to keep herself occupied instead of sitting there thinking about poor Kira all the way 45 minutes away. That's as far as she is. It's not very far, but it's you got to deal with what you got to deal with. But as far, we just had a trick or treat last night. So
that's right. You psychos do trick or treating on like the last Saturday.
I remember we had this conversation before. You were like, "What the hell are you doing trick or treat so early
trick or treat on fucking Halloween, you nutcases."
You do it on the Saturday prior to Halloween, or you don't do it after Halloween, obviously. So we got to do it Saturday. The neighborhoods around here
trick or treat on Christmas. Fuck everybody up.
First off, if you're a kid, you want to do it on Saturday. Why would you want to do it in the middle of the day or middle of the week when you have to go to school the next day? That would suck. So
because then I get to stay up late on a school day. You got to think like a child, not like an adult, silly goose.
Yeah, you eat all that candy. Your parents are going to be on you to go to bed. It's not happening. They'd rather have it on Saturday. So
can I? You know what? I was wondering what I was going to talk about tonight besides the format. So this is the first year my kids don't want to do trick or treating.
Oh yeah,
what?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have a young one though, don't you?
Well, yeah, but he's like 10 going on 65.
He's a cultured man of 10.
He actually just got selected at I don't know if it was like if he told me it was National Honor Society or something, but it was something along those lines for his elementary school. Yeah, he's a smart fucking kid. That's your future leader right there, Jonas Radulich. He can't figure out how to eat a crab, but he's smart in other ways. Anyway, so Melissa had said a little ways back that they were going to go down, even though it's my week with the kids. She was going to take the kids to her brother's on Halloween, and I was like, why don't you ask them first? Because we already have plans to just give out candy and watch horror movies. And they weren't going to do trick-or-treating. And I checked in with my kids, like, what do you guys want to do? And my son's like, I don't want to go. I'm so tired of this. And he did trunk or treat on Thursday last week. And I asked him how that went. And he was like, well, that was a mistake. So, yeah, they're not into trick-or-treating anymore.
Wow.
That's so sad.
My daughter, who's 13, she was like, well, I want to wear, like, my punk rock zombie princess, whatever the fuck she is, skirt. Outfit that she got for last year's Halloween. But she's like, I don't necessarily, and I want candy, but I don't necessarily want to go trick-or-treating either. Definitely not my uncles.
I don't want to go meet people. I don't want to talk to strangers.
That is my daughter. That's going to be on my daughter's fucking tombstone. Here lies Lily Radulich's loving sister. I didn't want to talk to anyone.
Please don't try. Do not bring the Ouija board. We will not talk.
I will not answer a seance. We're this Thursday. It's Halloween. We're supposed to watch. I think I said I wanted to show them. They want to see Child's Play. That's the horror movie they picked out.
The old '80s one or the most recent?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember. Yeah, last year when I took Lily to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, that was the first house we went into, was the Child's Play house, because somewhere along the line she got into Child's Play. So I think we're gonna watch that one, and then I don't know. I can't remember what was the other movie they said. I suggested maybe watching the original Halloween because they've never seen it. They've seen both. One. Yeah, they've seen both Scream movies. I can't remember what other horror movies I've shown them. I've shown them like Aliens and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what we're doing. That's our Halloween. It'll be the first year that they don't go trick or treating. I'll tell you, well, times changing, Jesse. What about man. Your sons are still doing the trick or treating though, right? Both of them are.
The 10-year-old went last night. I walked around with him. The 14-year-old though, he was like, I don't think I want to do it. And then he went into town with his buddies, and they went around and did some trick or treating. So, yes, they did. As a matter of Mongo showed up, and he was like, Mongo want candy.
Mongo just walking into
I was like, that's why I was excited. He has the perfect
candy. Here, take the Snickers.
He has the perfect costume. He's 7 feet tall. He's Mongo.
Your fucking kid
Mongo only pond.
Like, that's a great costume. This face.
Give me candy. So he went into town and had a good time. So he did do trick-or-treating after all, but he just didn't do it with us. So that's all right. They're getting older, man.
I went to a Halloween party last night, and my costume was black basketball shorts and a Charlie Brown t-shirt, and I just walked around telling people I was middle-aged Charlie Brown. Everyone thought it was great. They're like, that's perfect for you, and I'm like, it is. And I kept missing football, so it was great. But while I was swimming, as I do at this party, one guy walked past me and he kind of yelled over to me. He was like, Mongo says hello, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. Yeah, the Mongo thing has made its way around the community.
Oh, right. Boy.
All right. Are we ready? Are we ready to jump into all of this nonsense now?
Sure.
Yes. All right. So, Jesse, do you remember Jesse Starcher, The Doit?
The Doit. I do remember the Doit. I do remember the Doit.
I never watched The Doit.
The Doit. How about you? Have you ever seen The Doit?
Nope.
Do you even know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Nope.
Oh, good.
You brought me on here to look pretty, and that's it.
You know the assignment. Very good.
She's taking my job. I don't appreciate it.
Like, I'm the pretty one. Jesus. So I am not saying I'm not saying doit, D-O-I-T, doit. I'm saying the dirt. The dirt. So many moons ago, in the old timey times, there was a Motley Crue biopic that went straight to Netflix after being in development hell for a while, and then distribution hell, and finally it found its way onto Netflix. And I, being a huge Motley Crue fan, decided that we were going to review the movie, Jesse and I, and then I think we did either like the best of, or they released an album called The Dirt, or it was like maybe it was like the soundtrack to that movie. But we did a Metal Hammer of Doom on Motley Crue, and we talked about The Dirt. So I thought, getting into our discussion of Motley Crue and Canceled, that we would revisit The Doit. Jesse Starcher, how do you feel about The Doit?
The Doit. It's been a while. A really long time.
It has been a while, and like we played the songs, but we never actually watched the video. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is Motley Crue, The Dirt, established 1981, featuring Machine Gun Kelly, who has the funniest line of the movie Jackpot, incidentally.
Oh joy!
You would make my ass look like the Eye of Sauron. Thank you, Machine Gun Kelly, for that cinematic contribution. Here we go with. Gotta lower that. With The Doit.
The Doit.
The Doit.
The Doit.
And there's Motley Crue right at the beginning to let you know who the fuck it is. Mick, if you have a chance, go on your Netflix machine and watch The Dirt. It was quite fun.
I will.
Learned a lot.
Or read the book.
Yeah, I've heard
There's a book
really
too?
good too. Yeah.
That's what it's based on. Everybody in Motley Crue contributed to this book in their own chapters. It's kind of like the Bible, where everyone kind of submitted their own gospels and they just bound it together. I actually read The Dirt when it came out in hardcover. It's one of my favorite books of all time. So,
that's fun.
Book, then the movie, the song, all of it.
Oh,
Is
Jesse!
it because they fucked the burritos?
Yes.
Okay.
Jesse, give me the dirt.
Give you the Doit.
Give me the dirt, Jesse.
Oh my goodness. This was a great movie too, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more about Motley Crue, but I will say that I never really dug Motley Crue when I was younger at all, and it wasn't until
because you love the Lord and they were a Saints
yes,
fan?
as a matter of fact, that's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Motley Crue tapes were not allowed, not in my house.
They were shouting at the devil, and I was loving the Lord.
Give me some DC talk, and but anyway, yeah, I found a real appreciation for what they did and what they did for the music scene with this documentary, and I feel like Motley Crue became more of a. I learned so much more about Motley Crue like within the last 5 years compared to the previous 40.
Because we're an educational podcast.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So they're showing, they're dispersing clips of the band doing backstage stuff and performing with shots from the movie. In case you're wondering, why doesn't Nikki Sixx look like Nikki Sixx? This is my favorite part of the video, or favorite part of the song.
It's his favorite part.
Hey, you remember that time that Machine Gun Kelly mostly did rap music, and then he tried to bark at Eminem? Good times.
I bumped that shit in the car with my kids. My daughter throws a bag over her head and she says, "I'm so ashamed." But my son loves it.
Good.
Oh, like that part right there with the big tits?
Yeah.
Gotcha. As a fellow haver of big tits myself, I appreciate it.
I appreciate big tits on any person.
I am an equal opportunity pervert, you see.
Yes. We are not prejudiced here.
Oh, no. If you've got them flotations, you're on our rotations.
Noticeably absent from this video is Nikki Sixx summoning Satan.
True.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't give it all away.
And there's Mick Mars before he became a tree.
Poor guy.
That was when he was a twig.
He was a bushel.
He was
Mick Mars
just,
is
but he was
Groot.
baby Groot.
He is Groot.
Oh, poor Mick Mars.
Oh, we're shitty.
We are fucking horrible.
Yeah, I feel so bad. Like every time I think of the scene from SpongeBob where they're selling chocolate door to door, and they got the guy that's like, he's like, I have glass bones and paper skin. I think of Mick Mars.
Mick Mars was cursed by a witch. All right. Motley Crue is, of course, an American heavy metal band formed in Hollywood, California in 1981. All right, everybody, this will be fun. In 1981, I was 5. Jesse?
3.
Robert?
That was -10. Potentially a gray squirrel is what I always go with.
Perfect. Mick? Negative.
That wasn't even a thought in my parents' brain.
Yes, you were still Stardust.
It wasn't a stain on the dress yet.
Nope.
By bassist Nikki Sixx, drummer Tommy Lee, guitarist Mick Mars, and lead vocalist and homicidal maniac Vince Neil, joining right after. The band
Rest in peace, Razzle.
Yes, the band has sold over, and here's the important stuff. The band has sold over 100 million albums worldwide. They have also achieved 7 platinum or multi-platinum certifications, 9 top 10 albums on the Billboard 200, including, and this is really the band that I was most familiar with, and the band that got me into Motley Crue, 1989's Dr. Feelgood. Because, as we all know, Jesse, Rat Tail Jimmy is a secondhand hood who deals out in Hollywood. which is Motley Crue's only studio album to reach number 1. 22 top 40 mainstream rock hits and 6 top 20 pop singles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in 1989. I'm 12, and I go to the store and I pick up Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood, Metallica's The Black Album, Nena Sherry, and Paula Abdul's Forever Your Girl.
Nena Sherry.
I was eclectic.
Paula Abdul, man.
At least you weren't epileptic.
I was not at that time, at least. And I'll tell you, listening to the demos for Dr. Feelgood compared to the produced album, what a difference! Like
Really?
they really went all in on the production of that. Like the drums almost, like Tommy Lee's an outstanding drummer, but that almost sounded like they were using drum machines. And then you listen to the demo and it's like, oh God, this is so different. But you said, Jesse, you didn't really get into Motley Crue, I guess, until we started doing this podcast? Like, I kind of forced it on you?
I'd probably say it was about 5 years ago, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things come to mind. Motley Crue, you talked about Dr. Feelgood. That's probably when they landed on my radar.
Mm-hmm.
I think of a couple people. My cousin Mark, who, at 14, 15 years old, he picked up a guitar and he was listening to Motley Crue and some other stuff. And, that's the guy I kind of think of that I remember watching Motley Crue videos, in his room.
Was it Girls?
I don't think it was.
Can I tell you how, at the end of all things, Girls has become my favorite Motley Crue song, if only because of, after doing sessions with you and playing with AI, I've been thinking a lot about lyrical song construction, and that entire song is a list of strip clubs they went to.
Yeah. That's all you need sometimes. That's all you need.
And ironically,
the whole goddamn song.
And if they didn't know it, all the strip clubs that they would be naming themselves.
Yes.
Because there was one in Winston that I remember I parked right beside it in downtown Winston-Salem. And I got lost. I couldn't find the parking deck. But I remember I was like, wait, I remember now. It was beside the strip club. Girls, girls, girls.
Yeah, and if you were going to strip clubs in your 20s, you heard Girls, 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 because I swear to God, there's not a single new thought in strip club DJs. Every last one of them, when they would walk the girls out to do 2-for-1 lap dances, they were always playing Girls, Girls, Girls. It didn't matter if you were in it all it didn't matter if it was a mix of race girls, or whatever else. They all got Motley Crue. Like for the last hour, all you've heard is R&B and soul. But fuck that. Now we're doing 2-for-1 lap dances. Break out the Motley Crue.
Is it 2 lap dances? Are you paying for 2 and one and you get 2, or is it 2 girls at once?
don't you go and experience it for yourself, big boy, and then you'll know.
I've never been to a fucking strip club. Why would I? If I wanted to give women money, I'd get scammed on the internet.
He does it already.
Look, I just
No
want
lap
to give money
dance
away and
needed.
get nothing for it. I don't want to get molested.
Exactly.
I don't want to be there.
I want to cry about it.
Look at me.
I'm gonna talk to somebody else now. Hi, Mick.
Hi.
Would you like money?
Yes.
Oh wow. Anyway,
I
so
could do a really crude plug right now, but I'm not going to.
yeah, I was gonna say, and if you would like my Venmo,
This is, and my Cash App is.
Do you want my OF, my OnlyFans?
I didn't know if you had one, and I was gonna make that joke, and never mind.
I do actually.
Sweet.
You know, I would too if I didn't look like a bridge troll. Like,
every squirrel has a nut, my friend.
hey, if people have a thing for guys with a super veiny leg, I'm your man.
And a floppy esophagus.
And a floppy esophagus. That's right.
Speaking of floppy esophaguses, Mick, you came onto this podcast tonight to talk Motley Crue. Do you have any idea what the fuck we were talking about? Have you ever heard of this band?
I do
Oh,
actually. So Motley Crue was always, there's like several bands that have like flown under my radar, but I never really got like super into them. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of the Motley Crue's like biggest hits kind of vibe.
Okay.
But and I the main thing I've heard about them lately is just that I know we're probably gonna talk about it later, but Nikki Sixx's leaks.
Go on.
Oh, okay. No, he's there's been several times over the internet that he's leaked his dick.
Oh. So
Nikki Sixx has? Because I know Tommy Lee's got a massive horn.
I was gonna say Tommy Lee's dick is the one that to me was famous.
He fucking honks the horn.
Hey Jesse, remember that time we reviewed Pam and Tommy on Hulu, and there was a scene where Tommy was talking to his dick?
So great, so great.
Like it was Gollum.
Yeah, I didn't know Nikki Sixx was giving around the Nikki dicks.
That is an odd way for an old man to get attention. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
Here's my penis.
Look, my penis. You're so old, Nikki Sixx.
Look. I think we've all been on Facebook enough to see that happen in the wild, right? Just me.
All right. So getting back to me. Yeah, I first discovered Motley Crue with Dr. Feelgood, and then. Again, you gotta remember, like, I moved to the white neighborhood around that same time, so I was just looking at whatever was contemporary. It took me a couple of years later before I would go back and listen to like Theater of Pain. The famous song from that one is "Home Sweet Home." As I've mentioned 1,000 times on this podcast, "Girls, Girls, Girls," to which the only song on that album that's any good is "Girls, Girls, Girls." And then
it's on the tin. The
more I dug deeper into Motley Crue, especially around the time that I was reading The Dirt. Where I was listening to like Shout at the Devil. There's this really, like I said, and the movie doesn't get into it as much, if you'll remember, Jesse, but there was this real distinction between like the very early Satan Motley Crue stuff and then the later, more hedonistic party, druggy Motley Crue. Mm-hmm. And I remember famously in The Dirt, the book, Nikki Sixx talked about like they were super into it. They were actually doing seances in their apartment. And one night, whether it was the drugs or they touched the Dark Lord himself, it got a little too real for Nikki Sixx and his girlfriend. And they were like, never mind. No more fucking around with let's just think about strippers. No more with the Satanism.
Cowards.
Yeah.
Pussies. Pussies.
I mean, yeah. Well, I guess as they say, no atheists in foxholes.
So, looking at their awards and nominations, Dr. Feelgood was nominated in 1990 for Favorite Hard Rock Album. This is at the American Music Awards. Motley Crue was nominated for Favorite Heavy Metal Hard Rock Artist. 1991, Dr. Feelgood won that very same award. And the band was nominated again. The Grammys, they were nominated for Dr. Feelgood, Kickstart My Heart, and Saints of Los Angeles from 2009. I am not as familiar with the post-Dr. Feelgood stuff from Motley Crue. I know they did a self-titled album with, I can't remember the singer anymore, but I've told the story before. Vince Neil left the band, and
wasn't it John Corabi?
It was John Corabi, yeah. And who was he was in another band though, wasn't he?
Was it Extreme?
Maybe. What's the band where the guy got in a car accident with Vince Neil? What were they called? It was something about like a lizard or some shit like that. I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It was Hanoi Rocks.
Hanoi Rocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they were Swedish or something, but yeah, he fucking killed Razzle, that bastard.
So they bring John Corabi into the band, and you got to remember what's going on. Like the early '90s is the Seattle sound, Nirvana, the whole rebirth of heavy metal with Pantera and the Roadrunner bands. So there's the whole music industry is having a sea change, and there's Motley Crue trying to hang on to relevance. And my favorite quote from the Dirt actually came from John Corabi, where he was like, "They told me to sound like Phil Anselmo from Pantera and Pete Steele from Typo Negative," and I said, "That's fucking impossible, you psychos."
Yeah.
No one else can
Oh
sound like
God.
If you try to do Pete Steele, you're gonna kill your voice.
Yeah, if you don't.
There's only one. Only one man was allowed to be the lead of a Typo Negative cover band. That was David Gold of Woods of Ypres, and he's dead. So nobody else ever again.
So, Jesse, did you hear much of any of the Saints of Los Angeles from 2009? Which was nominated for best hard rock performance at the Grammys?
No, dude, I was right there in the same boat with you, man. They dropped off face of the earth, and you know, I didn't hear much from them. If it wasn't being played on the radio, I wasn't hearing it.
In 1990, they Kickstart My Heart was nominated for best heavy metal video, and they have a star on the Walk of Fame. They got it in 2006. So how about that?
Right on.
All right.
How about it?
Proud of them.
Alrighty. Anything else about Motley Crue you guys want to talk about before we get into the new album, the new EP?
I mean, I was listening. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was listening to, like, just on Spotify, I put in the Motley Crue and this play just to see what I can remember exactly. And there was one that I was like, I didn't even realize it was Motley Crue, and that is where is it? I just had it.
I'm curious if I know this one.
I probably won't.
Y'all got me on a different search with the Saints of Los Angeles. That's why I was like, oh. If I Die Tomorrow.
Oh, where's that one from?
That one is in the album cover's red. Hold on.
It's very helpful.
That's good. That's good.
The Red Album.
It's on the greatest hits or something or other, but I don't know what it's originally from. But like, I was listening to it and I was like, I didn't even know this was fucking Motley Crue.
All right.
So you've heard it. You've heard it sometime before then.
Yes. Yeah. It's come over my radar, but it sounds more like them trying to do like Bon Jovi kind of stuff. Because it's more like soft and like it's emotional.
Yeah, it's weak and
now, what's the name of the song?
If I Die Tomorrow.
If I Die Tomorrow. Jesse, look that up for me. Tell me what album that's from.
I am. I'm in the process of it right now.
Well, I pull up. All right, so we're going to get into the canceled EP. Go ahead.
Can I talk? I didn't actually get to talk about me and Motley Crue.
Oh, fuck me. Sorry.
Pass. So
say that now.
Well, I mean, anywho, so with Motley Crue, funny thing, I don't have a huge history with them, but I do have a funny anecdote that I was watching the Metal Mania on VH1 Classic one day, and I was like, man, these fucking chicks rock, because it's one of those.
Nikki Sixx did have Pat Benatar hair, didn't he?
Oh yeah, well, it's one of those that, like, I was past the point that I always love to tell the anecdote at work that when the Bee Gees are playing, that as a kid, the first time I saw the music video for Staying Alive, I was like, why do those girls sound so weird? Because I'd never seen men with long hair. So, like, if they have long hair, they must be a girl. But I was probably like 19 or 20 watching that, and I was like, man, this song is fucking heavy. This rocks. Too bad they look way too glammed up, and then I see it's Motley Crue, and I'm like, fuck, they do rock. All right, like they kind of won me over because, like I said, a lot of times me with hair metal, I think a lot of it is an image issue with it, just because it just doesn't appeal. The look doesn't necessarily appeal to me, but I mean, there are definitely some hair bands like Wasp is still one of my favorites because they fuck like a beast.
They do fuck like a beast. Can we just talk about that for a second? How like the cross section of like androgyny, sexuality, and masculinity in 80s hair metal bands? Because when I think about like, first of all, a lot of the hair metal music, I think gets a bad rap. I think a lot of it's pretty awesome. Not just because like I grew up in that era, but like think about like Twisted Sister. Those guys all look like fucking linebackers. And,
right.
And then they all have their makeup gun set to whore.
They got it on Homer's makeup gun.
But Dee Snider looks like he's gonna fucking run you over. The guy's built like a goddamn tank. Like the guys in Motley Crue. They were all glammed up and androgynous looking, but they made fucking awesome music. I mean, like even like the lighter version of Motley Crue, Poison. Poison also has some of the most memorable songs ever.
That's for you, Boo Boo.
Every
rose
has its thorn.
Has its thorn.
Every night has its dawn.
Yeah, there you go.
I told you about
cowboy sings a
sad song.
Did I Kool-Aid Man through the fucking wall? Every
I have a short story about Poison, real quick.
Yeah.
So I was at Llewellyn's in Lee Summit, which I don't know if y'all know anything about where I'm at.
Those people.
But
I know there's not a whole lot of geography.
Okay, I was at a bar away from Kansas City.
Oh, perfect, good.
But I was looking at this dude, and I was like, man, he looks like a young Axl Rose, because like he had the bandana and shit and the long hair.
Oh, neat.
And they're like, I still can't remember what the actual guy's name is, but like he's the lead singer of Poison.
Mm-hmm. Bret Michaels.
Bret Michaels?
Oh, wow.
Yes. They let me be in the dark the whole time.
Yeah.
They're like, that's Bret Michaels. And I was like, no, not ringing a bell. I don't.
You're like, who the fuck is that?
Then it wasn't until we got back to the car with my friend that they were like, that's the lead singer of Poison. I was like, you made me look stupid for like 20 minutes. And I could have taken a picture or something. So
you could have been on you could have been on season 3 of Rock of Love.
I was gonna say, he's definitely found a home.
The third season of Rock of Love, when they were on the bus, is the best piece of television I've ever seen. What if we take 10 strippers and throw them on a bus with Bret Michaels? Let's see clarity ensues. And Poo Doggy.
So that was
I remember when
accidental celebrity meetup.
He was announced for a show in like 2012, the same place I saw Napalm Death and Voivod at. And I, of course, got that post taken down when I asked them, who's the next bloated corpse of a singer you're rolling out? Kurt Cobain?
I think the third time you told that joke.
Ouch.
It's relevant.
I just want to say about Bret Michaels. I've seen Poison play with Def Leppard and Motley Crue and Joan Jett a few years ago. First of all, everyone loved Poison. And when I tell you, like, the next thing that I saw, when I saw him, I think it was like Party Gras. People just fucking came out of the woodwork for Bret Michaels. So he's still popular. This is one of those Bon Jovi things where I'm not going to sit here and tolerate your dismissal of how great Poison is. They're amazing. And everyone knows it.
That's nice, honey.
Okay. But I will tell you this. This was a few years ago. I took my daughter, who's like super feminist, to go see Motley Crue with them.
Oh boy. That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah.
That's a grain of salt thing.
She loved Joan Jett. Let me tell you, she loved the shit out of Joan Jett. She was sort of nonplussed with Poison, and then Motley Crue comes out, and I went, "Hey, Lily, get a load of this. And they played Girls, Girls, Girls. The picture I took of her face is fucking priceless. Like if she, I wanted like blow it up and put it on poster board for like when she graduates high school or there some major celebration where everyone's gonna see her. I need everyone to see that picture. All right, now can we talk about Canceled? Did you ever find it, by the way, Jesse?
Yeah, it was on the Red, White, and Crew compilation album from 2005.
There we go.
So there's your answer.
So we're gonna get into Canceled now, and this is one of the videos from Canceled. This is Dogs of War.
Oh God!
I can tell you that I saw a little bit of this just playing in the Spotify window.
Yeah,
this looks very. They just decided
I totally
to do
thought
animation.
about you. Yeah, I totally thought about you. Like this just had to have been like CGI and AI.
It almost looks like it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's about the effort I expect from them at this point. Poor fucking John 5. He is an amazing guitarist.
He deserves better than Motley Crue, is what you're saying?
God, yes. They waste his talent. Like, it's one of those, the solo in the song is really good, for example, but I'm pretty... Oh, okay, they actually do exist. You think Vince Neil's on Ozempic? Oh, yeah, Vince Neil's on Ozempic.
Dude,
you know what this looks like? It looks like when you're playing Guitar Hero.
Yes, yes. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Yes.
I was like, this is a Guitar Hero Motley Crue version.
I
Yes.
feel like that was the wrong part of the woman. Like, they kept the bottom half, but, like, they replaced the top half with the robot part. Should be
So that's the
reversed.
only useful part.
That's not true. We had this discussion 20 minutes ago.
Big titty crew.
Right. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. No, that's just one of those chauvinist jokes that always tickles me, even if it's not funny.
No, I'm fine with the chauvinism. I still, like, you're dismissing the top half for some strange reason. So,
Yeah, that's true. I'm abandoning my people.
So Jesse,
Five Finger Death Punch does not have their 6, by the way.
Oh,
well done, Jesse. So here's my thought about this video. There's only two kinds of videos in this world. CGI animated ones and 5 dudes in a warehouse.
I don't. This is some like fucking Black Mirror shit. I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea.
I wish I watched this beforehand.
Yeah.
So I have problems with what's going on in this video.
Now we got some zombies.
This is supposed to be like a modern view of Motley Crue, and there's people protesting Motley Crue, saying Motley Crue is the devil's music. There's not a single person on earth protesting Motley Crue right now. Most
Not
people don't know
anymore.
they exist.
Afraid not, guys. You're
Yeah,
not as important as you thought. Oh, my goodness.
They're like,
didn't
we're so
Get it?
dangerous.
Because they're the dogs of war?
Oh.
I actually
Okay.
like the song. We were jamming out before we went to go meet Jen's dad for dinner. We were playing this in the car.
Wait. That's the fucking spider from Skyrim. I know that guy.
This is
Like, I'm terrified of spiders. I don't forget them.
Tommy
It's
Lee
all
hit it with your
Skyrim mods. It's the Motley Crue Skyrim mod. Did you not have?
Tommy Lee, hit it with your penis. Hit it with your penis.
I mean, the man has 3 drumsticks.
That's right.
Right.
Just fire your missile at it.
Oh, no.
So if that's
That
supposed
poor
to be,
cum-covered spider.
but like I didn't ask for this. I mean,
It just walks away because it feels kink-shamed.
Consent, Tommy. Consent.
Are they inside that man's penis like the boys?
I hope
Oh
so.
goodness. Oh goodness. We have made progress from the Windows 95 paint. What was it? There was a Pantera, Planet Caravan.
Yeah, the Planet Caravan view with the Microsoft Paint.
Yeah. Well, this is how far technology has gotten us.
Oh yeah.
In 2024, we have anime or
This
excuse
doesn't
me,
look as funny
animated
as a $3 bill at all.
I want to know who made this video.
Some child. With his
Yeah, it was probably like a Filipino sweatshop or something.
Oh, probably. Oh, green Coke. That's awesome.
Yeah.
They like cremated Motley Crue, and then those pigs just sniffed them. That was what happened there. They just did lines of Motley Crue.
I mean,
Motley Crue
that's
didn't
probably
do
how
live.
they want to go.
Yeah, I was
I
going to
mean,
say,
yeah,
I think
you
it
know,
comes full
probably
circle.
right.
We all heard
Probably.
the story of somebody in Motley Crue. I don't know if it was Vince Neil or Nikki Sixx. Was they were touring with Ozzy? I've told the story.
Yeah.
Before. And
This was,
and they
this
ran
was
out of
in the dirt.
cocaine. They ran out of cocaine like you do, because I mean, who hasn't run? Jesus, how many times have we ran out of cocaine, Jesse?
I'm out right
all the
now.
time,
Right. There's never.
especially at the swingers party.
Listen to me. There's never enough cocaine. Never.
Not enough.
That's right. So when you're out of cocaine, you got to shove something up your nose, and you happen to be outside in a deck chair, and you see a line of ants. Why not
Fucking
snort a
Ozzy.
line of ants? And I figure if you're going to snort a line of ants, then in turn, at some point, someone should snort you. It's just a circle of life. That's what the Lion King taught us, right, Mick?
Yes.
It's in someone's will. It's like, and I request that my ashes be snorted on the most expensive of tables.
Yes. I like. Please cut me up proper. Don't snort rocks of me. Don't be an animal. All right. We've made enough drug jokes. All right. So canceled is an EP. So one of the nice things about this format, you have to understand, Mick. Like we did the Metal Hammer of Doom for like 87 years, and at the end of that run, we were all sick of the show because like after a while, you just run out of shit to say about some of these albums. But the other thing is that it limited us as to what we talked about because we could never do live albums, or we rarely ever did it, if ever. And we never did EPs. I think there's one or two shows where I wanted to do an EP so badly, I had to like pull together a bunch of EPs to fill out an entire show. And now because this is one talky podcast, we can just say, hey, there's a new EP out. We can talk about that for a few minutes and then go back to making fun of Coop and his love life. So, canceled.
It's not hard.
It's really, that's what he said.
That's a tripping hazard, but I'm happy you're able to clear it.
Canceled is an EP by Motley Crue released on October 4th through Big Machine Records. It is their first release with guitarist John Five, who's better than Motley Crue. And he
was
replaced
wasted on this.
and following his retirement from the band. Motley Crue now in April of 2023, Motley Crue announced that they had begun working on new music with producer Bob Rock. Bassist Nikki Sixx released a statement a month later stating that it had finished production and had begun mixing the new material. In July 2023, frontman Vince Neil confirmed that the band recorded 3 brand new songs. 2 months later, John Five confirmed the title of the new songs as Dogs of War and revealed the band had recorded a cover of You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party. Not Sabotage, you psycho Robert Winfrey. So they are canceled, Dogs of War and Fight for Your Right to Party. Jesse, what did you think of canceled?
It's okay. It's all right. I mean, there isn't a lot there to really criticize. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah, I like Canceled. I thought Canceled's a fun song.
Right. We come into this, and our first song is actually pretty decent. The second one I would say is probably not as good as the first, and then our third one's a cover. So I mean,
I want to talk about the covers separately.
Okay, covers. But
hashtag
covers. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. I how long has it been since they put something out? You just went through like what they did, but the last full album they did was quite a while ago, right?
The last album, I'm looking at the discography, was Saints of Los Angeles in 2008.
2008.
Yeah.
2008. And they're like, okay, it's 16 years now. Let's do 2 songs.
We have energy again.
Yeah. It's all the Ozempic.
In their defense, okay, by the way, we did it was the Dirt soundtrack, Jesse, that we did the Metal Hammer of Doom on.
Okay.
And that was 2019, I'll have you know.
You will have me know.
I remember that year well.
Yes. What a year it was.
What a year.
So some other stuff they've done recently. So they did Saints of Los Angeles in 2008. They released The End live in Los Angeles in 2016. They released the Dirt soundtrack in 2019. 2021, they did a box set, 40 years. It was a cassette box set because, we all have cassette players. And then now it's canceled. Of course you do. So, yeah, they released singles this past year for Dogs of War and You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party. 2 years ago, they did one for the Retaliators from 21 Bullets. The Retaliators featuring Motley Crue, Asking Alexandria, and Ice Nine Kills, and From Ashes to New. And then 2019 before that was The Dirt. The Dirt.
Deloitte.
Yeah, some more thoughts. Like Canceled is a lot of fun. Dogs of War is all right. Like we just saw the video, we listened to the song. I'll give Motley Crue credit. At least they sound like them now, and they're not trying to sound like whatever the new sound of the week is, because that shit annoys. Guns N' Roses made the same mistake. Axl Rose famously tried to do an industrial album, and it took him so long. Industrial had come and gone. When they did Chinese Democracy.
Democracy.
Bands like Slayer, they may not always make the most interesting music, but they at least always sound like Slayer. And I think that was my thing with Motley Crue in the post Dr. Feelgood years, is they tried so desperately to be cool and sound like whatever was new at the time, and you either got it or you don't. And I think just being true to yourself is going to win you more fans than not. But I'll throw it over to you, Coop. What did you think of Canceled and Dogs of War?
I was none too impressed myself, frankly.
Wait, color me shocked.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of already gave it away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like Canceled was very much like nobody. I don't really want to hear all that much political from Motley Crue. Plus, frankly, nobody's canceling Motley Crue. It's not 1980.
Protesting.
It's not 1987. Nobody fucking cares.
Yeah, it's like they took the time to be like,
dude, is anyone protesting any music anymore? Is there any music that's causing like a satanic panic, or oh no, my kids are gonna turn into a crip? Like, is there anything? I think that went out with the 90s. The 90s turned into 2000s, and everyone stopped giving a shit about music in general.
I mean, if you're talking about like extreme Christians, they're still, because like I remember going to a Korn concert, and they were still, the Westboro Baptist Church was protesting in front of it. But
those guys.
It's not as extreme as
right
before.
Yeah, sure, you're always going to have fringe whatever, and they will, but that's the thing, is they're not protesting a particular kind of music. They're protesting everything. They are protesting whatever they think will get them on the news and get them attention.
If anything's getting protested, I mean, like, I can remember there was a bit of a fervor when WAP came out,
yes, the wet ass.
Can't use slurs on YouTube, Jesse.
WAP, but that's probably about the last thing I remember hearing something like people getting upset about, and so that is pretty far from metal. That you don't hear much in the hard rock metal area, because I think a lot of people are just like, oh, they're at it again. Oh, there they go. There's Steel Panther. There's Steel Panther going.
My
again.
God,
there
if you're gonna fucking protest anybody's protest them.
No shit. Right. So yeah, I don't think
folks home.
She's on the rag.
I do not think that there's that much fervor out there. And so, hearing it took them this long to get that upset, and they're like, okay, what are the songs we're going to write? Well, we definitely got to talk about getting canceled.
Like, we got to do that. How hilarious it is that 4 old men are crying about getting canceled. Like,
right?
Why don't you try getting
first? Yeah, I mean, if anything, I think it's just trying to get the attention of that crowd, the crowd that cares.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like Vince Neil's singing for the most part is, it is pitch corrected to hell.
Yeah.
Like Chris Jericho needs to take notes.
And this is how you produce Chris Jericho. What did you think of Canceled and Dogs of War?
Canceled, I actually really enjoyed that song. It was nice, poppy. I listened to it on the way home. It kind of reminded me of, I don't know how aware you are of Theory of a Dead Man, but it reminded me of their song Blow.
And
when they're talking about like modern ways of thinking, where it's like sometimes it just makes me want to blow my fucking head off. The attitude reminds me of that.
Okay.
And then the other one that we just watched, like that, like the jam was still there. Like you can kind of bounce your head to it. I was more focused on what the hell am I watching on this music video.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Which brings us to the cover of Fight for Your Right to Party.
Whoa.
And here's how I know this was all happening. Like I follow Metal Injection and the other blog that discusses metal news, and this was a laugh riot to them. Like they put up the video for "Fight for Your Right to Party," and it was like, "This is so bad." And I go, "Let me hear how this sounds." And I'm like, "Look, I don't want to bash on Motley Crue. I love them. I'll still bump them in the car." But God, Jesse, the vocals are really off. Like Vince Neil has a whiny voice to begin with, but it works for a lot of his songs. When he's whining the list of strip clubs that he went to, it's great. But the Beastie Boys had a particular pitch that worked for them 100 years ago, and either do the song heavier, more guttural, less raspy, high pitched, or don't do it at all. This sucks. This is this hurt my feelings. It was that bad.
That bad, man. Oh man. Yeah, I listened to it once. That's all I could bear. I was just like, I'd rather listen to the Beastie Boys. And I really, honestly,
Jesse listened to it once, went in the bathroom and cried.
I just, I was sitting there thinking like, okay, I don't know if there's effort here. Like it just felt very like this is not what Motley Crue should be doing. It didn't seem right in my opinion. So yeah, I listened to it one time and I'm not going to listen to it again because it's just like, look, there's probably better covers out there. I'm curious if there are other covers of this song.
It
has to be, right?
I would imagine.
Gotta be.
But they're the Motley Boys, you see.
Yeah, see, dude, when they said that right there, that was where I was like, "Fuck this song."
I was waiting, and then it just went, that was gross. Like it was the equivalent of walking into the bathroom after somebody uses it, and it just hits you in the face.
Like, oh, what happened in here?
You're like, I need an exorcist.
Yeah,
get a priest.
Robert, you want to add anything to our discussion of this? Because if not, we're going to start to move on.
Yeah, no, I was actually curious because I remember that you say every cover is a gift from God, and you love every cover, and then you listen to that, and then
bit of an exaggeration there, Mark.
That better.
I don't know. You're like, oh, I think every cover's fantastic. I really love covers.
Oh my God! Shut the. Mick, can I tell you a quick story?
Sure.
About these two motherfuckers. These two.
Oh.
These
I think I taste some salt here, Jesse. We got somebody who's salty.
I deign to bring these two unknown motherfuckers onto a podcast and give them a little bit of attention, and they turned on me like dogs. Okay, rabid wolves. So I used to do a very friendly sharing of covers podcast. Let's just have fun. Let's play our favorite covers. And we, and then Jesse would come on and be like, Jesse, did you like this cover? And he'd be like, no, I only like what Robert Cooper does. Like, what the fuck? So it became a competition, see? And I was like, here's my 5 best covers, and here's Robert Cooper's 5 best covers. And you know what Jesse did? Do you know what Jesse did, Mick? What? He said, this is the Metal Hammer of Doom after all. And went out of his way to award the winner 2 shows in a row to Robert Cooper. Hurt my feelings is what he did.
Right. What was this? What was the cover that you picked? And I was like, well, no, we can't have it. I wish I could remember.
I can't remember what it was.
As much as he would love to have you believe that it was sided against him, that is not the case. It was fair right down the middle.
Yeah.
You are the dangerous Danny Davis of fucking podcast refereeing.
If this is rigged, then so is wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Go check out Cancel. It's on Spotify or wherever you listen to music. I'll be curious. I think Motley Crue's coming around next year again. Like they're still actively touring, so they're worth fun to listen
after signing a contract saying they would never do that again.
Dude, Slayer retired and came back. Everyone's coming back. Like everyone took.
Kiss is on their 8th retirement, right?
Yeah.
Pantera said they would never come back, and then they did.
Well,
what do you call it? Everyone took the wrong lessons from Terry Funk. All right, Jesse, Starcher.
Forever.
What are we talking about here? You sent me a video you wanted me to play. Tell me about it.
Well,
man.
it's so funny. It's so funny that we're talking Motley Crue, and you brought up the story about snorting the line of ants before I got to this video, which involves Ozzy Osbourne. So that's what made me think of an Ozzy song. As for the Shot in the Dark video, I don't know much of what we're going to get into. I watched like the first minute of it, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, we're going to have some concert footage. If there's one thing that we've always griped about is concert footage. However, there's a story being told here, and we'll have to get into it and see what happens.
All right, here we go. This is Ozzy Osbourne, Shot in the Dark.
Shot in the dark.
Shot in the dark.
You know,
So
after J.K. Lee got shot this week in the dark.
So who? Explain what you were talking about there, Coop. Who is that again?
J.K. Lee, I don't remember if he's the guitarist for this album, but he was one of Ozzy Osbourne's guitarists after Randy Rhoads. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's unfortunately timely.
He's a fantastic guitarist, though.
This looks
So-
like the beginning to like a made-for-TV 80s movie. And Ozzy Osbourne looks like vampire fucking Liberace.
Oh,
He does. I was like, that is a shiny fucking suit. What the shit?
What
is
the
this
hell?
off Blizzard? I'm gonna have to look see what album this is off of. Blizzard came out when? Blizzard of Oz came out when?
Was
Help me
it
out, guys.
83?
Oh, I
You
want to
listen to
say
much Ozzy there, Mick?
Huh?
You listen to much Ozzy, Mick?
Oh, I love Ozzy.
Yeah.
Ozzy's my spirit animal, honestly. Like every season at Spirit Halloween, I always dress up as Ozzy at least once.
That's awesome.
nice.
And I run around going, Sharon! Sharon!
You throw turkeys over fences?
Say again?
You throw turkeys over fences?
What?
I'm making an Osbourne's reference. You throw a turkey over a fence.
Oh, I couldn't understand what you were saying.
Okay. Yeah, it can be a little hard to get the music playing.
This came out in '86, by the way, from The Ultimate Sin. So that's the album that came off of. Go ahead, Mark. What was you gonna say?
No, I was thinking, like, again, when I moved into the white neighborhood and I started getting in, like, discovering a lot of this music, I remember, like, I came to Ozzy really late. You know, like, I discovered Black Sabbath well after I discovered Ozzy. And even with that, I don't think I got into any of Ozzy's old stuff. The most contemporary thing I think I had listened to the first was Mama, I'm Coming Home. Which is still, that's in my top 20 favorite songs of all time. I love Mama,
It's a great
Home.
song.
Yeah.
It's a feel-good song, almost.
Oh,
It's a
totally.
good one. And J.K. Lee was the guitarist for this album, so yes.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not intentional.
yeah. You didn't even know you were being topical.
I had no idea. By the way, I love Ozzy's robe here. He just come out. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just do it in a robe." Anyway, go ahead.
It'd be great
Well,
it would be great if you weren't wearing anything underneath. He's just like flopping
Oh,
around.
I mean, we can just imagine that he's not.
He's in slippers. He's like,
I feel obligated to do this because we're listening to Ozzy.
There you go.
There we
Nice.
go.
Look at you. The
Nice.
future's so bright.
You got the props. But yeah, I didn't know that actually J.K. Lee left the band on really bad terms because he didn't get any songwriting credits.
Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, just kind of like they screwed the original guys off of Wizard of Oz, except for Randy. They didn't. They re-recorded it just.
We opened this video, and there were some like women driving around in a car, and the rest of this is just in the concert.
Well, there's a chick like in the audience here that's having like mental issues or something.
She's having a religious experience.
Here we're going to.
Oh,
there
she's
she is.
possessed.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. There you go.
I
mean, honestly, like, I don't know if Ozzy's gonna make his way around again, which makes me really sad because I always wanted to see him in concert.
He's
But
practically dead, so I hope not. He's in no shape to be touring.
I will be distraught when he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be distraught, but I understand you saying that. I mean, the guy's an institution in metal. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be very sad, and so will the other aliens that have populated this earth and conquered everything. Because when Ozzy Osbourne and Keith Richards die, the two of them, it will probably be 3,000 years from now.
Dennis Leary's joke about Keith Richards is still funny to me. We can't do the drugs, Keith, because you already did them all. We have to wait till you die and smoke your ashes.
Yeah, if you're gonna smoke anyone's ashes, it'd be him or Ozzy.
Yeah.
I wonder, just like with Keith Richards, just like with the ship of Theseus, at what point is it he's still the original person, considering most of his blood has probably left his body?
So, Jesse, can I talk to you for a moment?
Oh, Mark Radulich, talk to me.
Jesse, I want to share something with you that I learned about recently.
Oh, okay.
So
All right, then.
It's his wiener.
I mean, when isn't it? But funny you mentioned that. Let me get there. So, don't you shake your head at me.
Please don't. Please don't.
You knew this is where this relationship was going. Stop pretending like you don't.
You're on like
Get me out of here.
I had a friend come over a couple of weekends ago, and we were talking music. And it's one of two ways to engage me: talk about interesting music or talk about interesting movies. And we were just kind of having that conversation. Mick, you know how this goes. Where you're talking to somebody, and you're really getting to know each other, and you're just playing music for each other. Like, oh, you like that? You should hear this. And like, oh, okay, well, you should hear this.
It's my favorite.
One of the great things about having the internet and music is you can just go on your phone and be like, listen to this shit right here, and it's whatever.
Like,
so
I want you to hear this.
Yeah, I need to hear this, and then put this in your. So he starts telling me, we were talking about, like, for whatever reason, we were talking about like jazz, and like I think I had mentioned like Candiria. One, that sounds like the drummer wrote the music. Two, they always had like a real jazz influence to their music. And then I was talking about the use of like brass instruments and metal and stuff like that. Obviously, the use of brass instruments and ska music. And he was like, "So you like jazz and brass, big band sounds and music, do you?
Like jazz.
In your metal?
You like jazz?
So you like
jazz?
And he goes, Mark. He called me Mark because that's my name. He said, Mark.
That's nice.
As you do.
Yeah. Have you heard of clowncore?
Oh, no.
Boy.
Some of you get it. Some of you need an explanation.
Are we talking about Down with the Clown or like?
So he played a bunch of this shit for me. And
Oh, no. Is it a bunch of juggalo shit?
No, listen, child. Clowncore is an American musical duo. It is composed of two anonymous artists who wear clown masks, speculated to be drummer Lewis Cole of indie-tronic jazz funk band Knower. Not mathcore, Jesse. It's not mathcore.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
last thing I want to do
Let's
is
not set off the mathcore people.
Common Core?
Common Core.
Yes. Jesse, write that down. That's going to be a sessions series.
Common Core.
We're doing
Common Core.
Common Core.
If we make this podcast a math thing, I'm out.
Fair enough. Lewis Cole of the indie-tronica jazz funk band Knower, and Sam Gendel, a saxophonist and frequent Cole collaborator. The eponymous album Clowncore was released in 2010. The album Toilet followed 8 years later. Their album Van was released in 2020. The EP 1234
was going to name objects. That's what our album titles are. Just objects.
Their projects are all self-released, and I'm now obsessed with this fucking band.
I'm not surprised.
Not surprise me either, man. No way.
Okay, so when I said Clowncore, did anyone know specifically what the fuck I was talking about, or like they thought it was something different?
I thought it was something different.
Okay.
No, I had no
I thought it was
idea
fucking Insane Clown Posse.
Well, yeah.
It is not. So the videos, I'm going to play two videos that he played for me, but I want to read this to you really quick before I do. After 8 years, their second album, Toilet, was released in March of 2018. Jesse, this is why Sessions is so brilliant, because it takes nothing now to make music. These guys did it, So
I would do right now. I would hop onto Suno and type in Clowncore and do an instrumental just to see what it did and see if it compared. But please,
we'll have to do that at a future session.
Purpose music.
next Metal Hammer of Doom jukebox. That should be your segment based on this. But anyway, so after 8 years, their second album, Toilet, released March 2018, accompanied by music videos of them performing the tracks in a portable toilet. Yep, they did it in a porta potty.
Was it a used porta potty?
This is art.
Yes.
Please continue.
So this is why I thought Mick might.
They are artists.
This is why I thought Mick might have known who they were, because these music videos were also shown on Adult Swim's Smalls program, exposing them to a wider audience.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Celia Whitus of the German magazine Metal Hammer described the music as far removed from any music genre. In his review of the song Hell 2018, an analysis of the accompanying music video, Axel Rosenberg of heavy metal news website Metal Sucks called the project a masterpiece of modern art and described the song as genre-defying.
Of course they will.
What does the angry metal guy think, though?
Yeah,
that's a Jesse question.
We need his input.
All right, so let's go ahead and none of us have. I mean, I have. I've listened to these already, but you guys.
Are you? Is this our video? Oh my gosh!
This is going to be a video heavy because I have to show you these.
Back because I don't know.
Meanwhile, on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
First off, very much respect the fact that they are attempting to get all of these instruments into a porta potty and play.
Impressive.
Like, how the fuck did they do that?
Yeah, there's. I mean, you
a little elbow grease and regular grease.
All of my turds go straight to hell.
I'll get from darkness itself.
That's what I'm gonna say every time I take a shit.
All my turds go straight to hell. Yeah, it's going on.
Smells like feces and brimstone in here.
Can we take a minute to appreciate his saxophone?
I mean, it's just so sad nobody is around that porta potty to hear this happening.
They probably all are.
With a tear in my eye, this might be the greatest moment of my life.
I will. Yeah, that's impressive.
What's the dance with me?
There's some fucking wackety Saxon.
Yeah, that is some wackety sax, baby.
You can't dance to it, though.
Oh, yeah.
I can't dance to it.
I can dance good. I go to classes for it.
That's the end.
No, wait. Yeah, that's the end.
Wow.
What the fuck was that?
Wow.
It just makes me wonder how much those guys fuck.
I have never. I don't know. I just like, you're at a point where you're just like, okay, what am I going to do with my life? Well,
I'm going to record a porta potty.
Well, I'm a trained saxophonist.
Okay.
And
all right. What's the best venue you can think of? Everybody go.
Nightclub. Some sort of orchestra.
Oh no, this shit belongs in the shitter. Okay. Oh, that gives me an idea.
You know what?
What do you like to do? I like to play my saxophone while taking a shit. I have an idea.
That was brilliant, actually. I mean, I really do love what they did there.
Yeah.
I think it's actually
very interesting.
The
yes.
music aspect, it was actually really good. But
Here's the thing, like, we're all metal people, so when he's doing the death metal growl and that kind of like breakbeat death metal drumming,
the fucking blast beats,
yeah, blast beats, like, I can't play that for a lot of people because like that's gonna be, as my coworker would say, that would give her anxiety. But the saxophone's so good.
Pussy.
It is good.
Leave her alone. She's an Arab princess. But bully.
I don't care.
I'm sure you don't.
Pussy bitch.
Yeah, pussy princess.
I'll make sure.
Beautiful Arab woman.
But that saxophone fucks, Jesse. You know it does.
Oh yeah, you cannot deny that.
That thing is not a condom in sight. That is raw dog in my eardrums.
Next time we need some sleazy saxophone on the Suno. You just let
clown core.
Clown core. That's where we're going.
Well, I have another one for you, Jesse.
Oh, good.
Jesse, we haven't quite. We're not quite ready to leave the toilet.
Oh.
Do they do all their?
Okay.
Wait, I have a question. Do
Yes.
they do all their videos like this?
No. This album,
Okay.
yes. This album, this album, Toilet. Yeah. So this Clowncore, Toilet, Van, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Toilet was recorded all on a toilet, but Van was recorded. Get this.
All in a van?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Now I get the theme.
Now you get it. Do
Oh
you
wow.
get it?
What about
Do
1,
you
2, 3?
get
Where's
it?
that in a phone?
One,
In
two-
a call center?
That's fun. My dumbass was like, do they do it in a church because numbers?
Okay. All right, so here we go. This is now, Jesse. I'm gonna need you to pay special attention to how he plays the keyboard in this. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? I need you to quit drifting off. Quit playing Marvel Snap with your naked friend Evan Bevins. I need you to pay attention to how he
All
plays
right.
his keyboard.
I'm watching everything here. All right.
Okay.
I need to watch this closely too.
I
need
need
to
to put
figure out
your-
what the hell's going on.
Put your eyeballs on that keyboard. Do you ever turn my pizza inside out?
Carl will not be tolerated.
God.
Come on.
This is what Gen Alpha wants. This is the skibbity toilet. I knew he was going to use his penis!
Oh my god!
Oh, that face is fucking priceless, Jesse.
What?
I was like, no way he's going to use his dong.
I love it so much.
Dude.
But you know what? He's in the bathroom. It's allowed.
He's holding it.
Can we
Let's
talk
do
about
this.
how while his dick is out, he's also playing a mean saxophone?
And the fact that he's managed to keep the note going. That is some extreme tensile fortitude.
Withdrawal.
I have
Here.
never seen a penis used so well. And I've seen a lot of penises being used.
Boy, howdy have you. Especially if that guy's handing his wiener.
Wow.
Shit.
Good old Mag leg dick. I think we can fairly say that might be the best moment in the history of the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox. Since I made a passive-aggressive song about my ex-wife. Right, Jesse?
No argument here.
I'm
Oh, I
glad-
remember that. That was a beautiful song.
Hang on. We all just trampled over Mick. What'd you say, Mick?
I said I'm glad I showed up at this time.
Yeah, really. You have appeared on a monumental show.
This was fantastic. I'm so glad.
Jesse, now that you know the Clowncore is in your life, are you running right now to suno.ai?
I already did it. I'm
What did you
listening
do?
right now. Piano's involved, I'll tell you that much, but I didn't get much further into it. So no, doesn't say anything about penises being used. But...
It doesn't say that it's not been used.
Exactly.
This is so good.
Schrodinger's cock.
I have to thank my friend Steve for showing this. So a couple of other notes about this
100%.
band. Clowncore's YouTube channel was created in 2008. Their first video is a performance of their song "Surreal Cereal" from their Clowncore album. After uploading their channel semi-frequently, they disappeared completely in 2011. They went back to their home planet, is what they did. After 3 years of complete silence, they uploaded a video titled "?" that featured what happened to Clowncore in red text. Then they disappeared again. It's fucking like a television show.
It's Guar. Like they're hanging out with Guar somewhere. That's what happened.
They did something with Morse code that says "We are in a toilet and we are still alive." And I read you this stuff about toilet already. In August, the duo uploaded a video called "The Infinite Realm of Incomprehensible Suffering," the story of Robert Winfrey. Featuring... We love you,
He's
Robert.
so tired of this shit.
We're tired of it.
We're tired of it.
We're featuring new music and audio at the end, which features another spectrograph that shows clowns along with bold text at top reads, "It has begun." And then Van came out. Okay. So, yeah, that's it. What do you think, Jesse?
Wow. My mind is blown. I mean, I don't think there'll be anything that tops Clowncore. At first I thought you were talking about a genre.
Right.
And I didn't realize it was going to be a band. And yeah, I mean, wow, something else.
That's the TikTok segment, Jesse. That's
Brilliant.
the TikTok segment.
Brilliant.
I for one was getting some great Mr. Bungle vibes.
Yeah. I'll tell you, when I was a kid, when I, as Jesse knows, we're not young, we ain't kids anymore. I had no tolerance for Mr. Bungle. I needed music to sound to have rhythm. I needed to sound like music, not Mike Patton running through a fucking music store, knocking over instruments and going, song. Ta-da! Robert, tell us about Morbid Angel.
Fucking love Morbid Angel. Especially when they're not doing what they did on that 2012 album, the Illid Dumas Sanus or something. That album was goddamn horrible. Like they tried to do what?
What about Thanos?
No, it was. I remember the album title started with Elude, but yeah, it was fucking awful. They tried to go in like a industrial tinge, but it was 2012. Like Morbid Angel makes fucking awesome death metal.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck do you need to make industrial? Let industrial people do that. There's like a whole industry of it.
Like Rammstein and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's Al Wilson's other band? Not Al Wilson. What's his?
The meth surgical meth machine.
Yeah, surgical meth machine. I almost said John Cougar concentration camp.
All right.
That's Mark's other love.
Yes. So what is God of Emptiness?
So actually, I had not seen this video before. I stumbled upon it with Beavis and Butthead because they were Beavis and Butthead were dunking on this video once, and I really like this song. I find that the vocals are very fucking deep and intimidating. It's very interesting, but I love me. Like Morbid Angel is one of those bands that I know they're amazing, and I could really stand to listen to more of them, and probably should now that I don't build a playlist every week for the girl I'm dating.
All right. Here we go.
Right, she's wearing the choker to do it. That's funny.
The choker. I was like, all right. Here we go. This is Morbid Angel with God of Emptiness. I should hit the actual button, not
hit that play button there. There you go.
Did it hit the mute button?
No, I'm like a monkey hitting, like I'm on the StreamYard page and I'm like clicking the button. I'm like, wait a minute, I have to actually go to YouTube.
Wait.
It's late.
So this song is very.
There's slow songs like OTAP or OPATH rather.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a difference between those.
Did they get a concession for this?
So they got.
To be honest, I'm not sure, but I definitely. I don't know. I find the song to be a very, very fun song to try to run to, because I'm slow, so it works.
Tommy Wildfire Rich with the vocals there.
He does fucking look like Tommy Rich. Damn.
He's wearing a Mjolnir.
Yeah, and now there's a bunch of bald people, I guess. Yeah, I guess they're all praying to their god, and they're carrying their weird-ass looking cross.
As I said earlier, the bald guy and the guys with the hair.
Oh, yep.
Yep. That's how we actually can tell them apart. See, some of them have hair, some of them do not. Some of them look like 80s professional wrestlers.
Well,
like they is definitely getting a good attaboy though. Yeah. Like this is honestly, I think they're trying to unionize.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think they're learning they need to throw them a pizza party because they're quickly finding out that the attaboy is not working.
They all need to eat.
Maybe you need food.
Yeah, I think so.
It's probably why he looks so hungry all the time. Yeah, look at that guy. He looks like William H. Macy, emaciated.
This music.
He's willing to make emaciated.
Wow. This video.
Did we all have that same one at the same time?
Yes. This video needs more girls with big tits. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep everything else about it, but just have some random, big-chested woman just walk through maybe like a map, just trying to find her way out of this video.
I feel like
I'm looking for the wasp like a beast video. How did I end up here?
Oh God, is he turning into a creature?
I
think he's turning into a creature.
That's
Yeah.
Every fucking.
He's turning into the man bat, I think.
Skeekle
You know why? It's because he didn't get to see any titties.
Honestly, though, that lead singer is pretty fucking hot.
Yeah,
He's
Dave
got
Vincent's a
that
very
long
attractive
flowing hair.
man. He
That
does.
fucking
This was also 30
Dragon
plus
Force
years
hair.
ago, so
This-
Dragon Force hair.
Yes. We need to get you a wind machine for that. Like, no shit. I took Melissa years ago to go see Dragon Force, and she couldn't get over the fucking wind machine and the flowing
Yes.
hair.
There's a whoosh.
Yeah. I hate this music, but I can't get over that man's. I have hair envy.
Yeah, I think
Alright.
he's turning into the Antichrist. Ah, he's turning into the anti-union representative.
The guy running with the cross, is he about to set the Olympic torch on fire?
Yeah.
I mean, I think so.
He's turning into Batman.
Please do not form
Literal Batman.
Yeah, this is pretty frightening.
I like it.
Yeah, this is it's Halloween is this upcoming week, so listen to some spooky music or like that year we did did we do the covers album? We did Trick or Treat. That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite podcasts
Why?
because I got to sit there and teach you about 70s and 80s anime for fucking 2 hours.
Sounds.
It was
like-
because all their covers were of most of their covers were of anime theme songs from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Really?
You know, my favorite anime memory on a podcast is when my son made an argument over what was and what wasn't an anime, and he says because it didn't have a beach episode.
Beach episode.
I can tell you right now what the difference is with American cartoons and Japanese anime. That's because one is Japanese and the other is American.
That is also a
Yeah, but Jonas and I had a moment
yeah
because
He
we were both.
he imprinted on my son like a fucking dirty pervert.
What are you trying to say? Just because I happen to enjoy anime, heavy metal, and titties, like what? What's there for a 9-year-old not to love?
It all comes together at some point.
It does.
Exactly.
All right, Mick. Much like a lot of people who join the Radulich Broadcasting Network, you get on one show, you won't leave, and then you want to take over. So what are we talking about on the next? What are we talking about on the next Metal Hammer of Doom jukebox that you insisted we do?
Guar.
No, not that
Oh.
one.
Oh.
I love war.
I was gonna say, damn.
Let's try. All right, that's 2nd and 10. Let's try another pass.
All right.
I'm sorry. So for the viewers, I texted the whole group chat and I said we need to do a Guar episode and I will run it.
Mhm. All right,
Love
Alexis,
it.
what are we doing next month?
Slipknot.
There we go. It
Which
is
one?
What is it, like the 25th anniversary of the self-titled album?
Yeah.
Oh boy, we should have 18 minutes of silence and then have a hidden track. Dude, that used to kill me when I would be listening to the CD and then you have to sit there for
Sit
18
there and
minutes
wait.
while you're mowing the
18
lawn.
fucking minutes.
Yeah.
When I'm mowing the lawn.
And you're like, why is my music not playing?
So yeah, next month in the year of our Lord, 2024, we are it's the 25th anniversary of the self-titled album Slipknot. This was suggested by Mick because she's a huge Slipknot fan. So that's what we're doing on Thursday, November 14th, Jesse. Jesse, see, the girl comes along and we have to change everything because right before Thanksgiving is when we used to do what?
We used to do our turkey, right?
That's
We
right.
did our turkey.
We
show.
have to do our turkey.
Yeah, so this year our turkey is an actual good album as opposed to what is it we've done in the past? We did Look What the Cat Dragged In by Poison. We did Stomp
God,
442 by Anthrax. We did Saint
What was
Anger by
the-
Metallica.
We did Cold Lake by Celtic
Cold
Frost.
Lake.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, memories. So yeah, next month we'll be doing the self-titled Slipknot album. So that'll be fun. Mick, this was your first Metal Hammer of Doom jukebox, and I just kind of threw it out at you because next month was supposed to be the first one, but I was like, no, if you want to start coming on these now, I might as well get you in here. We'll toss you around a little bit, get a feel for the podcast. What do you think? What do you what you think of this this whole tossing experience?
I love it, and I feel like I fit perfectly in this world.
You didn't make me want to punch you once, so you did good.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
But no, Slipknot, you can see me. I'm gonna make a Slipknot jumpsuit for that one. I ordered the iron-ons and I ordered the jumpsuit, so I've just ironed that shit on.
Other than I don't know how many shows you've been on with Mick, but she half the time comes on like cosplay.
Hmm?
Yeah, her and Shay.
Well,
like to come dressed up.
Yeah, for some reason I thought you had a beard, and I thought you were a guy. And I must have caught a show that you were on. We were talking about this on one of the previous episodes. It wasn't this, but it was something else. Anyway, you were like, "Yeah, we got Mick coming on there," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I think I remember that guy." And
Mick?
then I was like, "Oh wait a second." Mark described that you were probably in some type of dress up to where I was not paying attention.
There was not a moment that I had a mustache.
Did you have a beard? You didn't have a beard? Are you sure?
She came on, I think the first time, your first appearance on the Radulich Broadcasting Network was the Kubrick show when you were dressed up as a droogie, and maybe because of the makeup there.
Oh, that's fucking, wait. Oh no, I need to show her a cockwork orange.
Show her your cockwork later. Listen.
No, it's the African movie poster with the giant penis.
Oh, that, yeah. Hang on. Well, then she came on Beetlejuice dressed as Lydia. And I don't think you've cosplayed since then, though. I think you've
So I did when we did the Dolly Few, the Joker 2 movie.
Joker 2, right? You came dressed as Joker.
Yeah.
So maybe one of those. You thought she had a beard, Jess? I don't know how.
No, you got there's some other dude that you guys have brought on for another show, and I think I got her confused because her name confused
with fucking
me.
Mac
or Dorian.
Is there a Mac? Is there a Mac? No, I know Dorian. Mac. I bet you that's
There's a Mac.
I bet you that. Yeah, that's
I can tell. Mick and Mac look a lot alike.
Yes,
right.
Of course. We look so, I'm going to send this to him like immediately.
And now twins, Mick and Mac. Mac, put your hat on. Then you'll look, all right.
No, but tonight's costume was, I saw Motley Crue was doing a lot of like leather stuff, so I was like, here's my little choker, and then I realized that you couldn't see my shirt.
Yeah.
Which is just kind of like this like leatherish thing, but
I guarantee you anyone that watched the video for the show waited all episode for you to do that.
Okay, fine. Here's for the viewers.
Woo! There it is. And that's why you're here, Mick. And that's why you're here. All right.
Yeah.
I have never done that on this podcast. I need to start. See,
I don't know why.
I was about to say.
I've never stopped you.
You know why? It's because we had to start wearing clothes while doing this podcast. Remember, Mark used to do this podcast fucking butt ass naked.
Yeah.
I think when we started doing the Metal Hammer of Doom extras, it's like the very first one we did before the official one.
That's right. You had to throw on a blanket.
I had to throw on because we were audio only, and I was wearing any clothing because I was doing cardiovascular exercises before the podcast, right, Jesse?
No,
Yes. So, and then I had the brilliant idea of like, let's quick do a reaction video in the middle of this podcast. So I quick turn on the camera and I'm like, I'm not wearing a shirt. Well, this isn't going to do it all. So I throw a shawl on like a 90-year-old woman. And I'm jamming out. My earphones are going one way, the shawl's going another, and my cancer's going a third way. It was a whole mess. Right, Jesse?
An absolute mess.
All right. Speaking of messes, tomorrow we've got Venom: The Last Dance. It'll be myself, Robert Winfrey, Jason Teasley. Pat Mullen may or may not make an appearance. He might have a hot date. One never knows. So that's what's going on there.
Don't give her any money.
Don't be dumb.
Take it from your Uncle Coop.
Take it from Uncle Coop. Simping ain't easy.
Last week, Jesse and I did a sessions. We did the Damn You Hollywood song, and then we did a new theme. Robert and I reviewed the top 10 worst movies on streams right now on Damn You Hollywood. I was on Movies That Don't Suck and Some That Do. We reviewed Piece by Piece and The Woman of the Hour, starring and directed by Anna Kendrick in her directorial debut. And then myself, Dorian, and Alexis reviewed the new Bruce Campbell show, Hysteria, on Peacock. Ooh. And I think that was it for the week. Jesse, what do you got going on?
Well, tomorrow, Mark Radulich, you and I are going to be talking about Sons of Anarchy Volume 1. As far as comics go, they're on the Source Material Comics podcast. So you get to hear us talk about the first 6 issues of Sons of Anarchy, which was a good story. So check that out. I will be recording and I think this episode that we are going to record is going to air pretty quickly because it kind of fits in with the spooky theme. It's me, myself. Yeah, me, myself, and I.
What are you, fucking...
All 3 of us.
What are you, a De La Soul album?
Me, Alexis, and Dorian are going to get together and talk Serial by Mark Russell. Radulich.
I'm
Mark
jealous.
Russell.
Why wasn't I not included in the Mark Russell-a-thon?
I had no idea it was Mark Russell, and I finished the book today, and it is really good. So, Coop, you know Mark Russell at all?
I've not heard of him, just his terrier.
Okay.
Right. He is the bane of Ronnie Adams' existence.
He did a great Flintstones story there for quite a while. And he also did
interesting.
Oh yeah, he talked about polyamory in the Flintstones there, Mick.
That's right.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So then
boy, join the polycule, kids.
With Serial,
the best way to go.
He developed a world around the Serial mascots such as Frankenberry, Boo Berry, Count Chocula, General Post. General Post? Yeah, General Post.
Captain Crunch?
Captain Crunch shows up in there. The bee from
Horatio.
Anyway, it's great. We're going to be recording that here in a couple of days. And then, hey, I got 2 more shows, Mark Radulich. We got an amalgam show that's talking about some amalgam comics on Tuesday. And then for celebrating Halloween, we're talking Hearts of Darkness and the Dark Design, which is a comic book that stars Wolverine, Ghost Rider, and the Punisher. So check those out.
That sounds like some 90s. That sounds like almost like some Marvel Knights level beauty.
It's good. It's good stuff. That's it. That's all I got.
Mick Wanamaker, what do you want to plug tonight?
So, so I do painting and whatnot, and also just modeling here and there. But didn't have enough time to pull it up here, so I'm going to do this. My Instagram is onyxcat.create, and that's where you see most of my work. But on Facebook, I am Mick Wanamaker.
All right. Folks, thank you for joining us here on the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox. This was a really fun show. I'm glad Mick could join us, and she'll be along for the ride and for future shows. For my brother from another mother, Juicy J, Chesty Starcher, and Mr. Lonely Hearts himself, Robert Cooper, I have lots of editing to do now. Be well, be safe, and behave.